Hola clase! Today we're going to be learning about nouns and articles in Spanish. Let's start! So to make sure that we're all on the same page, what is a noun? A noun refers to people, places, or things, anything. In Spanish, nouns have gender. So the book, el libro, is masculine, and the girls, las chicas, is feminine. Just as in English, in Spanish, the nouns can be plural or singular. So everything in Spanish, living things and non-living things, so every noun, I should say, has a gender. So on the slide, as you can see, we have a girl, la chica, feminine. We also have a backpack, la mochila, feminine. Then we have a boy, el chico, masculine. We have a shoe, el zapato, masculine. Now, how can we tell whether a noun in Spanish is masculine or feminine? So I'm going to give you some rules of thumb that will help you decipher whether a noun is feminine or it's masculine. And for that, you can look at the endings. So first, let's talk about living things, meaning people, animals, and so on. So if it ends in O or, generally masculine. If it ends in a or ora, feminine. Ista, the last one there on the slide, could be either one. And you will be able to tell whether it's masculine or feminine by the article, but we'll see that in a little bit. El chico, el pasajero, it ends in an O, masculine. La chica, la pasajera, it ends in a, feminine. El conductor, the male driver, el profesor, the male teacher, ends in or, masculine. La conductora, the female driver, la profesora, the female teacher, ends in ora, feminine. If it ends in ista, like el turista, the tourist, dentista, the dentist, could be either one. You can tell because the article, look at the article that goes right before it, el turista or la turista. That gives you an idea of whether it's a male tourist or a female tourist. But we'll talk about articles in just a few minutes. So nouns that refer to non-living things. So anything like, so the mobile phone, a pen, has a gender. Let's look at the endings again. How can we tell if it's masculine? Generally speaking, if it ends in O, ma, or ese, an S, it's masculine. If it ends in an a, sion, that, or tud, which is not shown on the slide, it's feminine, generally. Okay, there are exceptions. So the O and the A, we already knew about it because we just saw it in the last slide. Examples, el cuaderno, the notebook, el diario, el diccionario, el número, el video. All of those end in an O, so we know they're masculine. La computadora, la cosa, the thing, la escuela, the school, la maleta, the suitcase, la palabra, the word, all of them end in a, feminine. Some words that end in ma are masculine, like el problema, el programa. If it ends in an S, in the letter S, la letra S, generally masculine. Por ejemplo, el autobús, el país. On the other side, if it ends in sion, that, or tud, feminine. La lección, la conversación, la nacionalidad, la comunidad, la actitud. So even though you have the rule of thumb that I just gave you, all those endings, it's a good idea when you're learning new words in Spanish to memorize it along with the articles. Why? Because there are exceptions to the rules. For example, hand, mano. It ends in an O, yet it's feminine. It's la mano. Motorcycle, moto. It ends in an O, yet it's feminine. La moto. El día. It ends in an A, yet it's masculine. Mapa. It ends in an A, yet it's masculine. El mapa. Like I said earlier, the nouns in Spanish also can be singular or plural. Now, how can we make them plural? So let's take a look at some examples. El chico, los chicos. El chico, singular. Los chicos, plural. What did I change? I added an S. So simple. La chica. If you want to make it plural, las chicas. Just add an S. Okay? Now, what happens if they end in a consonant? If the noun ends in a consonant, like el país, the country, then in that case, los países, or la nacionalidad. It ends in a D, las nacionalidades. I just added an ES. Okay? Lastly, if you run across a word that ends in a Z, like el lápiz, pencil, then take out that Z and then add CES. Okay? El lápiz, los lápices. La cruz, the cross. Las cruces. What happens then if we're talking and we see a group of just females? We could say las chicas, okay? If we see a group of only boys, los chicos. But what if there are boys and girls? In that case, we'll say los chicos. Los chicos already includes girls as well, females, okay? Which is kind of funny because then when you look at parents, for example, el papá, la mamá. What if I want to say my parents? Then you would say los papás, which I know in English it sounds kind of weird, but that's the way it is. In Spanish, when you have a group that includes males and females, use the masculine form, and that's inclusive of all genders. So let's talk about the articles. In English, it's pretty easy because we have the, and then we have a or an, and then some, right? And it's easy because it doesn't change. So it's the book, the books. However, in Spanish, they do change because the article has to agree in gender and number. And you've already seen the article. For example, el chico, la chica. We use el for masculine and la for feminine, right? But what if it's more boys, several of them? Then los, okay? El chico, singular, masculine. Los chicos, plural, masculine. Let's go to feminine. La chica, plural, las chicas. And here you have them all in one slide. And they give you the examples of el diccionario, that's one dictionary. Many dictionaries, los diccionarios. Okay? La computadora, las computadoras, feminine, singular and plural. What about the indefinite articles? The indefinite articles would be un for masculine. For example, un chico, plural, unos chicos. And the example that we have is un pasajero, unos pasajeros. What about feminine? Una fotografía, unas fotografías. So far, what we've seen that there are some rules of thumb that allow us to tell whether a noun is feminine or masculine. So go back to the rules for the ending. And then we also learn definite articles and indefinite articles. So several rules that we have to learn in this section, but they're very useful because they're going to be useful to you for the entire semester. So we are working on the foundations. I know it's a little bit more grammar than I would like you to spend time on. However, it is necessary because you're going to be able to apply it through the entire semester. All right? So how do we learn all of this? I just gave you a lot of information. So practice, practice, practice. Okay? All right, guys. If you have any questions, just let me know. Adios.